Hello and welcome to 30 minutes of gentle yoga with the chair. Today we will be using 2 chairs, a space at the wall, and later on if you choose to go to the floor, you may want to have 2 blocks. Today when we start, we're going to have the chair all the way back at the wall. So you see this chair to my side is all the way back touching the wall. My chair that I'm sitting on is as well. And the first pose we're going to do today is Locust, Shalabhasana. And for this one to start, you're going to slide all the way back in your chair and have your sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine, at the back of your chair, and your shoulders and head back on the wall. If you're in one of these metal folding chairs like I am, just feel like your spine is straight and you are against the wall, at least with your shoulders and head, so that you have that alignment. And then take the hands down by the sides and bring the arms forward of the shoulders and then up alongside the ears. See if you can touch the wall with your thumbs. Have the palm wide and the thumb spread. See if you can just touch the thumb there first. And then see if you can close the fingers together with the thumb and touch the thumb to the wall still, reaching up the wall. Good. Turn the palms forward. So if we were doing this pose on the floor, we'd be lying on our belly with the arms stretched out in front of us and lifting the arms just above the ears off the floor. And then bring the arms forward and down. As always, if that felt especially challenging for you, you can simply repeat that version. If you'd like to go on, you're going to slide halfway forward in the chair. So sacrum is about halfway between the front and back edges of the chair. Again, bring your hands down to the sides. Draw the abdomen slightly back and feel how that lengthens the low back and lets the buttocks release down. Again, bring the arms forward and up alongside the ears. Turn the palms forward. Lift up, especially through the rib cage and chest. Keep that low back long, and then again, you're going to lean back slightly from the shoulders, not from the low back. Keep that low back long. Lift up and reach the arms back. See if you can touch the wall behind you with your fingernails. Breathe here, and then lift up and bring the arms forward and down. So I'm going to show you that from the side. You're going to repeat where you are. If you don't have a wall, you can always be doing this without the wall to touch behind you. It's just a nice touch point to guide you to see how far you've gone. So here I am about halfway forward in my chair. Hands by the sides. Bring the arms forward and up. Palms face forward. Lift up. And then keeping that low back long, so belly gently pulls back toward the spine, buttocks release down, lift the chest and look up, and reach back, reach back, reach back until the fingernails touch the wall. Take a breath here, and then bring the arms forward and back down by your side. All right. So, coming back to the chair where I'm facing you, there's another version of this called Makarasana, and in this one you're going to clasp the hands together and place the hands behind your head. Again, scoot back so that your sacrum is at the back of the chair and your shoulder blades and now the knuckles behind the head are at the wall, and spread the elbows wide. See if you can touch the wall with your arms all the way out to the elbows, lifting the chest. Good. And breathe here. Good, and release the clasp, bringing the arms down. And then we're going to move just about 3 inches forward in the chair, not halfway, so maybe a quarter of the way forward. And you have your normal clasp that you probably did last time. You're going to move the fingers over one so that it's the awkward clasp for you. And bring the arms behind the head again. Stretch the elbows wide, trying to get those elbows straight out to the side. Lift the chest, look up, and see if you can bring the hands so my little fingers are touching the wall. Maybe I can get my head, no, just my little fingers are touching the wall. Spread the elbows, and then take a breath here, and lift up. And unclasp, bringing the hands back and down. So we're going to do that again, halfway forward in the chair. Do the normal clasp of your hands, so just the one that you do naturally. Bring the hands behind your head, elbows back, lift the chest. And then again, looking up, leaning back, slowly with control, and now just above my little fingers, my head is back on the wall. I'm stretching the elbows wide. Take a breath here, and then lift back up, and release the hands down to the sides. We're going to do that one more time. So the awkward interlock, so just do your normal clasp and then move the fingers over one. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. Lift the chest, abdomen slightly in, buttocks down toward the chair, low back long, lift, opening up that upper chest, shoulder blades onto the back, and just come until you touch the wall with your head. Breathing here, elbows wide, and come back up, and release the hands back and down. So that was the upper body portion of Locust pose. Now we're going to try to emulate the lower body part of that pose. So that's going to be a lot like Warrior One in the chair. I'm going to turn to the side. And so my right side is to the back of the chair. And if it's more comfortable to bring that chair a few inches away from the wall, you may do that. So I'm back of the chair, holding on to the back of the chair with my right hand, slide to the left and drop the left knee down. All right, so this is like the preparation for Warrior One in the chair. The difference is, after we slide the foot back and start to get that stretch at the front of the thigh, you're going to lean forward slightly, holding on to the seat of the chair. Stretch that leg back and gently lift it up off the floor. Okay? And then back down and bring it forward. Now, this is a strong contraction for the hamstrings on the back of the leg. So you may feel a cramp. If you do, just come out, wait for it to pass. You can push into the cramp. That helps it go away. And then we'll repeat. So drop that knee down, reach the leg back and lift bit, remembering that in the final pose, we're going to be lying on the floor. So leaning forward over this right knee puts us in a more similar position to that. And then lower down and come out. And we'll do the left side. So turning around in your chair. Have your left hand to the back of the chair. You're going to take your right leg and hip to the right off the edge of the chair. Drop the knee down. Hold on to the seat of the chair by your left knee and reach your right leg back and then lift the foot up off of the floor. Okay, breathe here. Good, and release down. You can bring that foot forward and sit up for a moment. Just give you that hamstring a moment to release. And then coming forward again, drop the knee and stretch back that right leg. And lift that right leg up away from the floor. Breathe here. Stretch back through those toes. You don't have to lift very far off the floor to really get an effect here. And then bring the leg back. And we'll turn back to center. All right. So we're going to move on to wheel pose in the chair. For this, we're going to open up the shoulders first, so taking your hips towards the front edge of the chair. We're going to start again by reaching the arms up alongside the ears, palms forward. But this time we're going to bend the elbows, keeping the elbows in, so try not to let them go out to the side. And then lifting the chest, reach back for the wall behind you until you can touch the wall behind you. Lift the chest, look up. Good. Walk the fingers a little bit down the wall, reaching the elbows up. Breathing here. And then lift back up and bring the arms back down. Okay, so we're going to do that again. I'm going to show from the side view. We'll move this chair a little bit out to the side. And come here on the edge of my chair, feet flat underneath the knees, and then reaching the arms forward and up, palms forward, lift, bend the elbows, trying to keep those elbows in by the side of the head, and then lifting up, reaching back. Breathe here. Good. And lift up. And bring the arms back down. Good. Now, the lower body portion of Dhanurasana or wheel pose. I'm going to show you this from the side. So, I'm going to have my second chair in front of me, and I'm going to sit with the back to me. This is just for a little bit of extra balance. I'll slide to the right, grab my ankle, lift the chest. So I'm holding on to the far side of the chair here. You can also hold on to the top of the back of the chair. And let the knee release down. And I'm a little bit close to the corner of the wall here. I could kind of kick my foot back into my hand, lift my chest, roll my shoulder open. Okay. And release. slide to the other side. I'm going to show in the other direction. So you can see where I'm now. Sorry, I don't need to turn my chair to show on the other side. I want you to see that I'm holding on to the far side of the chair here, grabbing my ankle, lifting my chest. I can also have my hand on a chair in front of me, whatever balance point feels more secure to you. And I'm kicking back into that heel, lifting the chest. Good, and release, and bring that leg forward and down. Good, so Ustrasana, or camel pose in the chair, is very much like wheel or Dhanurasana, and we're going to do it, I'm going to show you from the side view, and we'll do it by the wall. So for camel pose, you're going to tuck the feet underneath the chair and slide the hips forward. Now, if it feels more secure to have a chair right in front of you, you certainly can. Then you're going to take your hands back to this chair, lift the chest, buttocks stay on the edge of the chair, toes reach back, lift the chest, look up. Good. And then release, bringing the feet forward and sitting in the chair. We're going to repeat that. So again, you can have your hands on the chair in front of you to tuck your feet underneath the chair. Sit bones are still secure on the chair. And then I'm going to reach back to the chair that I'm sitting on, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, maybe even touch the head to the wall, slide the feet underneath the chair more, roll the shoulders, the chest open, shoulder blades onto the back. Breathe here, and then push yourself up, bring the legs forward, back to your seated position. All right, we're going to do Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, at the wall next. So move your chairs out of the way. And you're just going to come to the wall, feet close to the wall, maybe 2 to 3 inches away from the wall. Hands flat on the wall, and draw the hands down so that the fingertips are in line with the tops of your shoulders. From here, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down, and turn the chest, turn the face up towards the ceiling. Keep the abdomen drawn slightly in. Keep the top of the buttocks releasing down. And continue to lift like you're going to lift the bottom point of the breastbone up to the ceiling. And then releasing, come back to neutral. We're going to do that again. So fingers broad on the wall, fingertips in line with the tops of your shoulders, thighs back, sacrum in, abdomen pulls back towards the spine, lift the chest and look up. Breathe here. Lift that bottom tip of the sternum, the breastbone up. Back of the neck long, shoulders away from the ears. And then release. And bring the hands down. All right. Now we're going to do up dog with the chair. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So take your chair seat into the wall. All right. I'm going to move this one a little bit more out of the way. And we're going to start with 90-degree stretch in the chair. So this would be like going from down dog to up dog on the floor. So walk your feet back and stretch out through the spine. Good. Feet underneath the hips. That's a little bit farther back than you think. And then take a small step forward, maybe just an inch or two longer than the length of your foot. Turn your hands out to the sides to hold the sides of the back of the chair. Come up onto your toes and bring your hips forward to the back of the chair. Roll the chest open just like you were in the last pose we did, and look up. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, stay high on the tiptoes, and bring the hips forward toward the chair. You should feel a nice stretch through the front of the body. All the way from the thighs up into the throat. And then push back. Hands to the top of the back of the chair and step back into 90-degree stretch. Then you can repeat this on the back of the chair, or you can move to the seat of the chair. So if you move to the seat of the chair, you're going to turn the chair around and hold on to the sides of the seat of the chair. Walk your feet back into down dog in the chair. And then come forward over bring your hips forward towards the back of the chair. Come up onto the toes, so we're in high plank now. And then you may need to bend the elbows slightly to get the chest through the arms. Then straighten the arms, straighten the legs. And here you are in up dog with the seat of the chair. Keep lifting the thighs up towards the bone, towards the back of the thigh. Lifting up through the arms, straight elbows, open chest. And then press back into down dog. Take a breath here. Good, and then step forward and come all the way up to standing. Good. So finally we can come down to the floor, and I will show you up dog on the floor with 2 blocks. So it helps to not have a sticky mat underneath your feet when you do this version. So I'm going to fold my sticky mat up. And I've got an extra thick sticky mat, so I'm only going to fold it in half once. You can fold your sticky mat in half twice if you'd like. It'll give you a little bit of extra height. Then I'm using my wooden blocks today. You can use foam blocks for this. And put those 2 blocks right on the edge of your mat. Okay? Then we're going to do down dog with the hands on the blocks and come into up dog first. So Come into a down dog with your hands on the blocks. Okay. Come up onto your toes and bring the shoulders forward, high plank. Curl the toes under or over and lift the chest, pulling the hips forward, up dog on the blocks. Thighs are off the floor. And then curl the toes back under and lift back up into down dog. And then bend the knees and come down. Now you can also come into this pose with from the floor. So I'm going to show you that. From the floor, you would have your hands on the block still, your chest in line with the hands, roll the shoulders back and down, tops of the feet on the floor. And then push into the blocks and pull yourself forward and up, all the way knees off the floor, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, press into the tops of the feet. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And then lowering back down. You can take your hands, fold them, rest the head, release the legs. Take a few breaths here. Opening up through the low back as the breath comes into the body. And then hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself back up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Wherever you are, lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again. Be well.